Oh, okay. Today we're going to talk about the problem with Black Ops 3 Zombies on PC. Now, this started off as a problem to me when I played, about a month ago, a giant game on round 135, meaningless round, where I had a seemingly application error after only 12 hours of gameplay. So when I got to round 136, or 135, technically 136, but I'd never finished the dog round, I had this issue where the game just closed itself. Now, I think that on PC, where the application just closes itself, from what I've heard from other PC players, such as Enjoy the Kill Cams, which he's also tested this a few times, is this CE error, which you get on PS4. The game just closes itself. You're looking at the game in 1 second, and then the game is gone. So, what I was thinking to myself after it reset is, why? Because I thought to myself that it would be the same as console. You would play, you would pause, all of that would add up to this CE error. But after 12 hours, that doesn't make sense. And I knew for a fact that my PC hadn't even been on for 70.5 hours, which was Crash's reset time on the Giant, or error time on the Giant. So, naturally, the first thing I do is look at my PC's uptime. Uptime was 39 hours, and I didn't start the game as soon as I turned on my PC. So let's say it's 36 hours. So why would my game crash after 36 hours when I know that on console it takes 70 hours? Or Scotty's game was 60 something hours, but I think that's because he didn't sleep his PS4 right away and all that sort of stuff. So the first thing that came to my mind was frame rate, because if you'd seen that on a video I did a month or so ago, I'll just restart that. A month or so ago, you saw that the Gumball machine dings at different speeds at different frame rates. It's funny, it's not useful, it's just interesting. You play at 30 FPS, ding, 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 240 FPS, ding, 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 ding. At the time I didn't really think anything of it, but now it's kind of interesting, because you think at 125 FPS, as you can see I played this game at, compared to 60 FPS, it's roughly double the frame rate. And 36 or 35 hours is roughly half the 60 in quotation marks frame rate that PS4 gets. So that's basically my theory at the time. The higher your frame rate, the lower your time, and vice versa. The lower your frame rate, the higher the time. Both of these provide different problems to deal with. So the first thing I do is test it, and my god, this testing took so long just because of the time that's required to do these tests. So, I mean, you're looking at the first test here. That was quite easy. I could do that one on my PC. So, we do the first test, 240 FPS. And let's just skip to the end of this. These were very long recordings. I re-recorded over them because they were just so long. And as you can see right here, the game closes itself after 24 hours and 10 minutes. That is the CE error time at roughly 240 FPS. And it's gone. So naturally, the next thing to test... Shut up, chill! And the next thing to test would be lower frame rates, because we know what 60 is, we know what 120 is, we know what 240 is, so let's try 30. What the fuck are you doing, chill? She's walking all over my desk right now, the fucking cat. So, naturally, I tested it. Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. 137 hours. This is not good for multiple reasons. So if we skip to the end of this one, 137 hours and 2 minutes is the CE error time at 30 FPS. So at this point I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe there's a third way these games can end. Maybe there's a CE error time, there's obviously death, you can die in the game, and maybe there's still a reset. Because on the Eisendrache, for example, you have people getting this tree cutscene, and Enjoy the Killcams has also told me about how he's been messing around with timescale, and he's been able to get these seemingly tree resets. So I was thinking to myself, maybe that's still a thing. And maybe it is on some maps, but the reset time, if that's still a thing, the reset time on the Giant must be really high, because I did it again, holding a window for 160 hours. 100. To put this into perspective, 168 hours is a week. So this was sitting on my laptop for almost a week before it finally, it didn't even do what all of the other games did. Usually you have a game, it's sitting there, and then when it errors, it just disappears. This one didn't disappear, it just black screened at 18 FPS for some reason. I don't know why. It was 18. But literally the application was still there, but it was black screened with the 18 up the top. So that's that. The problem with this is it provides two problems. The first problem is obviously console players whining about PC has longer reset, blah blah blah. Yeah, but let's first just think about it from my perspective. I have a PC. It costs a lot of money. I want to play on my PC at high frame rates, and I can't because this shitty game is programmed like this. I now have to play at 60 FPS, or else I'll get a lower reset time. It's very annoying for me. Of course, on the flip side, you've got to think about it. What happens if someone plays at 30 FPS and plays a really easy strategy for 160 hours? You could get 255 on every map like this. And that, I think, is quite a big problem, and it's not one that I have to deal with because I'm not Zombie Records, but it's going to be something that needs to be done here with rules for how Black Ops 3 is going to be played on PC. Because it's very difficult to say lock in a frame rate, because that's not always possible. PCs aren't consoles. You don't get constant frame rates. The frame rate depends on the specs of your PC, the resolution and the specs that you play on your PC, how you're recording the game. I mean, me using OBS right now uses a percentage of my GPU, and when I'm playing my game, it drops my frame rate by 5, 10. It's not that much, but it might be much for people who have not as good PCs. And then you have to consider people who have really quite bad PCs. I mean, if your PC can only get 50 FPS at reasonable settings that you'd want to play at, is that game then illegitimate because you're going to reset at 85 hours instead of 70? Or then consider if I play at 60 FPS and my PC is really, really good and it'll never go anywhere else but 60 FPS. How is that fair on me when I know for a fact that PS4 does not sit on 60 FPS? So therefore I'm going to get 1, 2, 3 hours less reset time. How do you balance that? Do I cap my frame rate at 55 to account for the shittiness of consoles? I don't know. There's also some other things about this game. Sleeping does appear to work. It's the same as PS4. You put your PC to sleep as soon as you're finished playing the game, and the CE time won't continue running, which is really annoying because PCs aren't consoles. I like using my PC for other things than gaming. I can just leave the game there and do something else, but no, I can't do that like that. I do have some other ways around that, though. I found a interesting program to use, but I'll probably make another video on that and do some more testing to see if that actually works, but I'm pretty sure it does. There's ways you can freeze the application so you don't have that problem. But yes, I think that's about it. Anyways, whatever you think about this, put it in the comments. It's obviously going to be something for Zombie Records to decide on, because I don't think there's really any really fair way to do this. But yeah, oh well. See you guys.